What's up, everybody? So today I'm going to talk about my Step 2 experience in my third year of how I prepared for the big exam at the end of the year. So let's get to it. Alright, so Step 2, I'll just start off by saying I thought Step 2 was so much better than Step 1. So if that's a concern for you, just know that Step 2, I loved it. I actually enjoyed taking the test versus Step 1. You dread taking the test because it's so dry and boring. So throughout third year, the predominant way that I studied was just doing UWorld. For the most part, I did not use online MedEd. I hardly used Amboss, but I used UWorld. I did the entire UWorld bank and every missed question for each rotation. So like if I had psych, I did every psych question and every missed question. And sometimes I would do even the questions over again. When I had my dedicated, I spent about 3 weeks in dedicated, maybe about 2 weeks, maybe about 3, where I did about 120 questions a day. And I would have a notebook paper, and if I missed a question or if I felt like I could learn something, I wrote down the bullet point and moved on. So that was what my dedicated looked like. I took the free 120, I took the old one and the new one. I didn't pay for any of the NBME paid for test. I didn't really want to spend $80 for like 80 questions or however much it is. I thought that was ridiculous, and it wasn't worth it for me. I did not use Amboss really during dedicated at all. I just did UWorld. And then I read through all of my notes from third year, from every rotation, because I did the bullet point thing for every rotation. So I read through those once or twice, and then I took those, consolidated it down into about 15 pages of just hard facts that I didn't know. And that worked for me. I did relatively well on Step 2. I got a 243 on Step 2, and I got a 209 on Step 1. So a drastic difference for me, and I feel like I studied a lot less. Actually, when I was taking Step 2, I ran into a new second year resident, and I was talking to him, and he made the joke that for Step 1, you have a 2-month dedicated. For Step 2, you have a 2-week dedicated. And for Step 3, you just need a number 2 pencil. So I felt like I kind of followed that. I did not need the full dedicated because I felt like I was prepared enough for the test. So I pushed it up 2 weeks, went on a 2-week road trip, and it worked out great for me. But I feel like if you want to do more than what UWorld has to offer, I really don't think that reading textbooks or any of that kind of stuff, it doesn't work for me. It may work for you, but I don't think that's very high yield. The only thing I did a little bit of was I watched some YouTube videos of high yield Step 2 facts. There's a couple videos on there that are 20 minutes to an hour, and I think I watched a couple of those. For the most part, they said a lot of things that I thought were not super high yield, or things that I've even seen in all of UWorld and other practice tests. So I didn't focus too much on those, but it was nice to just hear someone else talking about the information. So if that is something you want to do, change it up a little bit, I thought that was good. But the Step 2 test itself, I'm sure as you know, is 8 60-minute blocks. So the time is definitely longer than Step 1, but I felt like it flew. I feel like the questions are a lot more fun, if you can believe that, because you can imagine yourself being a provider answering these questions and doing what it is. There's really not too many questions that are out of left field. So that's a nice thing. The questions are easier in my opinion. But if you have any questions or want to see a more specific video on a certain topic, drop it down below and I'll hopefully get to it. But other than that, thanks for watching.